Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Dhiraye Nashprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttamash Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8. Preyatai Krithaga Siddhama Tavad Gopyadate Tvai Krithaga Siddhama Tavad Yete Dadashru Kalinanjana Sambramaksham Vaktram Naniya Bhaya Bhavanaya Stitasya Vaktram Samam Vimohayati Bir Apiyat Bibheti Bir Apiyat Bibheti. The cowherd lady Yashoda Adade took up Tvai on your Kritagasi water pot Dama rope Te your Dasha situation Ashrulila overflooded with tears Anjana ointment Sambrama Niniya downwards Bhaya Bhavanaya the thoughts of fear Stitasya of the situation Sa that Mam may me be happy even fear personified yet whom Bibheti is afraid. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. My dear Krishna, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes flooded with tears, which washed the mascara from your eyes, and you were afraid, though fear personified is afraid of you. This sight is bewildering to me. Here is another explanation of the bewilderment created by the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is a supreme in all circumstances, as already explained. Here is a specific example of Lord's being the supreme and at the same time a plaything in the presence of his pure devotee. The Lord's pure devotee renders service unto the Lord and of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord also accepts the loving service of his devotees more religiously than when the service is rendered spontaneously out of pure affection without okay. The Supreme Lord also when the service is rendered spontaneously out of pure affection without anything of reverential admiration. Generally, the Lord is worshipped by the devotees in a reverential attitude, but the Lord is meticulously pleased when the devotee, out of pure affection and love, considers the Lord to be less important than himself. The Lord's pastimes in the original Goloka Vrindavan are exchanged in that spirit. The friends of Krishna consider him one of them. They do not consider him to be of reverential importance. The chastisement of the parents more carefully than the prayers of the Vedic hymns. Similarly, in this material world, to manifest his eternal pastimes of the he displayed a unique picture of subordination before his foster mother, Yashoda. The Lord, in his naturally childish activities, used to spoil the stock but the celebrated monkeys of Vrindavan, who took advantage of the Lord's punishment for a transcendental child. She took a rope and threatened the Lord that she would tie him up, as generally done in ordinary household. Seeing the rope in the hands of Mother Yashoda, the Lord bowed down his head and began to weep just like a child, his beautiful eyes. This picture of the Lord is adored by Kunti Devi because she is afraid of his mother who wanted to punish him just in an ordinary manner. Kunti was conscious of the exalted position of Krishna, whereas Yashoda was not. Therefore, Yashoda's position was more exalted than Kunti's. Mother Yashoda, God had been conscious of the exalted position of the Lord. She would forget this situation because the Lord wanted to make a complete gesture of childishness before the affectionate Yashoda. This exchange of love between the mother and the son was performed in a natural way, filial love. Indirectly, Mother Yashoda is praised for powerful Lord as her beloved child. ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं साधुतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपे वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रियौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So here's the series of the prayers of Kunti Maharani is actually going on, and so last few shlokas were also in the same lines as the bewildering pastimes of Krishna. So Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead. So and Krishna is the director and things like that. So it is that's the first understanding that needs to be got. So in Bhagavad Gita, we get this idea that the Lord exists, and the Lord exists as the controller and maintainer, of the entire creation. So shots, and also like in Bhagavad Gita, though the knowledge of this nature is given, but still, Krishna, takes the role of a chariot driver. That's there itself the bewilderment starts. So Krishna takes he likes to take the subordinate position of his devotees. So before coming to the subordinate position, it is very essential to understand the position as the absolute controller and the supreme power. So that is the first thing that has to be put. So just like when we are building a building, so the foundation is there, so the foundation has to be put down, and then the building has to be put up. Aspect. So sometimes this aspect of in the pastimes of the Lord. So, like during the festivals and during, whenever it is recited, it's very nice to be relished. So, but then, for the pastimes to be relished properly, so one needs to have solid foundation of philosophy. So, otherwise, it'll the devotee may not go in the right track. So, the philosophy is in one sense it is mentioned as the real substance or the real thing that is being protected is the divine pastimes of the Lord. So that's the real substance, but then we need to have sufficient fencing, sufficient protection through the matter of through the understanding of philosophy, also realization of the philosophy. So that is very essential. Sometimes devotees have this one, that if we are too much philosophical minded and we have too much contemplated on the greatness of the Lord, so then we will not be able to enter into Vrindavan. So Vrindavan is for people who are given up the Aishwarya Bhav, and we are all the time practicing Aishwarya Bhav. So here it is mentioned that if Mother Yashoda had been conscious of the exalted position of the Lord, but she was made to forget this situation, because the Lord wanted to make a complete gesture of childishness before the affectionate Yashoda. So one thing that we need to understand is that the prime problem is to develop like these aspects of how the pastimes will create all the situation the Lord will create. So just like Mother Yashoda was imagining Krishna to be the Lord when she was seeing the universe within the mouth of Krishna. So so she was getting some reverential attitude towards towards the Lord. So but then Krishna immediately made her forget everything, and then so she again started thinking of Krishna as her son. So how we are made to forget Krishna in the material world, so by the Mahamaya. So in the same way, like if the pastime needs, so Krishna will make us forget he is the supreme God, using yoga Maya. So it doesn't need to be like that. Doesn't need, that is not the point of sadhana that needs to be done at least at this point in time. So the point of sadhana is that we need to develop affection, and we need to develop towards the Lord. So more and more we have to become attached to the Lord. So that is the key thing that is there. And how to actually develop attachment to the Lord. So in the material world we see that any obnoxious thing also, if we spend time with that, so we will develop attachment to it. That's how it is. So it is seen that nobody ever liked to drink at the first go. No. So it is like it's a fashion, so obnoxious and so over a period of time, so people actually get used to it. So and in fact no one devotee was telling that this is the cross culture training that is given for living entities to go to the lower species of life. So nobody ever likes obnoxious this one, the stuff that is flowing in the gutter. So but then when he has a karma to become a pig, so he's put in the not able to tolerate, and after some time he's able to start making some a living age speak about the Supreme Lord, what to speak about that personality who's naturally very attractive. His features are very attractive, and his are very attractive. So what is about developing attachment to him? So if we spend time with him, so definitely we will be able to like develop attachment. So but some problems that are there is, so we are not able to spend time with him. Though we allocate 2 hours for spending time with him, but we end up spending that time with something else, by our plan making business or some other thoughts and things like that. So the aspect of invoking the presence of the Lord is very essential. So when we invoke the presence of the Lord and then we spend time with the Lord, so then naturally we will become attached to Him. How we can not attach to such a person as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has whose very name is Krishna, whose very name is all attractive. So here the shloka talks about Kunti Maharani is addressing Krishna, saying that Yashoda was very angry at you because of your because of the offense that you had committed, and then she was about to tie you, and you were very much disturbed, and your eyes were like completely disturbed and overflooded with tears. So it so much of tears that washed off. So that means it's like profuse tears. It's not some sometimes the children also cry just to like catch the attention of the parents. Actually they are not crying. So thoda bahut aansu nikalta hai. So but then if they are really crying, so then lot of stock of water comes. Sometimes it is bewildering, like itna sa body mein kitna stock hai. So they keep crying a lot actually. So everything, and they know the process very well. So because they are completely plus, and and anything they want, they have to depend on the superiors. They cannot get on their own. So if there is a toy that is there, they don't have money, and even if they have money, like it's quite difficult for them to go to the shop and get it. So and for anything and everything, only one logic that works there. Simply cry. So they just simply cry, and with that, this one they get anything and everything that they want, and no more so if the child is an obedient child. So then it becomes like much more easier for the child to actually command and demand the parents. So the very same thing, almost it is in the similar kind of situation that is there. So when we understand our position, our natural existence, so the living entity has only the capacity to desire. The living entity doesn't have any other capacity. So the living entity has only the capacity to desire, and whatever facilities that we have now, so it is already given by the Lord, and it can be taken off by the Lord at any point in time. Be it our intelligence, be it our bodily strength, anything that we possess. So everything can be taken off by the Lord, and it is the grace of the Lord that we have capacities. So and these capacities, when a devotee is nicely practicing, so he'll be able to understand that these are all not my the capacities that I can always bank upon. So these capacities can anytime be revoked. That is it's Lord's capacities. So he develops a mood of dependence on the Lord, that anything that I have to do, so it's only by the mercy of the Lord, only by the grace of the Lord, that I'll be able to do. Even the capacities that is already given, or even the capacities, where some service is there, so where a devotee is not capable enough to do it, so he depends on the Lord. And some service is there where he is capable enough to do it, so even that he depends on the Lord, because he's always conscious that all that is I'm blessed with is a blessing of the Lord, and it's a grace of the Lord. And anytime the Lord wants, he can actually revoke it. So he's always conscious that I don't possess thing. So one of the prayers, I think Kunti Marani says that akinchana, right? So what is that? Tvam akinchana gochara, right? So akinchana is practically everybody is akinchana. Nobody has anything. So, but then one who's conscious of his akinchan position, that is very nice. So he is always dependent on the Lord, and he is always he is able to be grateful to the Lord for everything that he is able to do. He's not he finds it very difficult to be grateful. So sometimes it becomes very, very difficult to express gratitude to anything that is anything that we are able to do. So this position of akinchana is a person is a devotee is naturally endowed with, a sincere practitioner is naturally endowed with. So this, okay, after that it's good. The audience is also not conscious of the subject, and the speaker is not conscious of the subject. Huh? So here the child, this one is mentioned. So how the child is actually dependent on the Lord. So in the same way, the child knows that he doesn't have any possessions, and then for him, so he has to be dependent on the of the Lord. He also understands that he doesn't have anything, right? And then he is dependent on the Lord all the time. And then here, so one difference between the child and the pure devotee is that the child demands for his sense gratification, the pure devotee demands for Lord's sense gratification. So he wants to serve the Lord for his pleasure, and for that he actually begs the Lord that please allow me to be of some service to you. This whole situation that the Lord is completely afraid, this one, and she is bewildered of this fact that the Lord is afraid. So whereas capacity, or that's the position of the Lord, but then still he is afraid. So this is a very nice, this one, for in any philosophy that we take, so there is a amount of uncertainty. So philosophy is supposed to describe every single aspect of logically. So that is one of the basic aspects of the philosophy. So it should have the explanation for everything that is in the creation. So now, every philosophy, be it Mayavad, be it the Western philosophy, be it any philosophy, so they actually come to a point of difficulty, like everything in this whole creation, they try to make it, completely logical and things like that, but then, the things doesn't connect. Just like, Yashodamaya was trying to bind the rope and the rope was not getting connected. So like it was short by two fingers. So in the same way, any philosophy you take, it has some difficulty. Like you cannot explain everything completely logically. It is not possible. The whole creation, they try to put it this one. So it is quite difficult. So the Mayavadis put that in uncertainty has to be placed somewhere. You have to what is the supreme absolute truth? Or that is completely predictable. No qualities, no this one, no form, no characteristics, no color, nothing. Like it is just completely predictable. And then what is unpredictable? This material nature is unpredictable. They put the whole uncertainty on the material nature, and then so it's quite difficult to understand the material nature. So they just put it there, and any difficult situation that comes, this is unpredictable material nature. That's it. So, but then, like, where does the Vaishnavas put that uncertainty? On the Lord. Vaishnavas put the uncertainty on the Lord. So why? Naturally, like he's more powerful and more higher a personality. It's difficult to understand him. It is achintya. He's achintya. He's difficult to understand. That is a natural place of uncertainty. And then sometimes it is described. So in the past times that it is very predict what Krishna will do. It's completely unpredictable person. And so like one devotee was explaining that the devotees are they become Bahushaka hi anantasya buddhyo avyavasayina vyavasayatmika buddhir. Lord, the Lord is Bahushaka. The Lord is trying to please, or Lord is trying to maintain all the living entities, and then he is trying to satisfy, and he's trying to nourish all the devotees of the Lord, all his devotees. So he is Bahushaka. He is complete disturbed person. So, and then it is described, the devotees describe the eyes of the Lord. Here also it is mentioned that now, Sambrama Aksham. So, Sambrama Aksham means he is anticipating the punishment. He is disturbed, and whether he is anticipating the affectionate association of this particular aspect. So, what is that? What is that? This one that we. Shantakaram, Bhujagasayanam, and things like that. So it is, Lord is like completely a personification of Shanta. So, but then, he has opposite qualities, accommodated in his personality. So he is also restless, and at the same time, he is completely peaceful. So that's why it is very important to know how the Lord is solidly fixed in his position, and how the Lord is tranquil and things like that. So once we are put and realize sufficient realization, so then when we understand the Lord's disturbed nature, so we will be able to appreciate, like Kunti Maharani is appreciating. Otherwise we'll become atheist or we'll become Sahajiya and things. So it becomes dangerous actually. So now here is mentioned, Supreme Lord is supreme in all circumstances, as already explained. Here is a specific example of the Lord's being the supreme and at the same time a plaything in the presence of his pure devotees. So here we see the importance of this is a subject matter of so much of relishment in the past time. So, but then the audience, that is there is contaminated souls of Kali Yuga. So, if we only put the the rasa tattva in this side, so then it becomes very difficult. So the people will probably getting many sahajiyas in the movement. So, but then here always the supremacy of the Lord is highlighted, and then the pastime of the Lord is also nicely presented. So the Lord's pure devotees render service unto him out of unalloyed love only, and while discharging such devotional service, the pure devotee forgets the position of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord also, when the service is rendered spontaneously out of pure affection, without anything of reverential admiration. Generally, the Lord is worshipped by devotees in a reverential attitude, but the Lord is meticulously pleased when the devotee, out of pure affection and love, considers the Lord to be less important than himself. The original abode of Goloka Vrindavan are exchanged in that spirit. So the friends of Krishna consider him one of them. They do not consider him to be reverential importance. The parents of the Lord cheerfully than the prayers of the Vedic hymns. Similarly, accepts the reproaches of his fiancés more. Lord Krishna was present in the material world to manifest his eternal pastimes of the transcendental realm of Goloka Vrindavan as an attraction for the people in general. Is a unique picture of subordination before his foster mother Yashoda. So now here we see that now there is in the Goloka Vrindavan or when he manifested his pastimes here in the Vrindavan abode. So that is described, and the specific quality that is described is so there is no reverential attitude. So generally, the devotion to the Lord is performed with lot of reverence. No, but here it is mentioned that so. But then reverential attitude is not there. So then what is the attitude that is there? So there is loving attitude that is there. So now in any form of devotional service in Vaikuntha, so or any form of devotional service which is aiming at going to the spiritual world, not just Goloka Vrindavan. So there needs to be loving devotional service. Loving devotional service, no one cannot go to the spiritual world. No, that is not possible. So, but then no, the loving devotions, no, that is supported by conscious appreciation of the greatness of the Lord. So that is the that is the beginning, this one, and then the perfection or and considering the Lord to be one of the family member, just like any other friend or any other relative, that is there. So but then their affection and attraction to Krishna is very very unique and very nice. So here in the at the time Krishna expanded as all the cowherd boys, and then all the mothers they had all the mothers and fathers they had extreme affection for their own children. It was going to end, so that point in time, so this pastime that happened, when the boys were the fathers where they were herding the cows in the uphill. So then when the cows saw the calves, they actually came down and they started showing affection. And then when the this one when the boys came down, so when the fathers came down to cows were they were not able to control the cows, and they were about to chastise the cows. So at this time, so Balram, he had a difficult yeah, so everyone is naturally attracted to Krishna and Vrindavan. So, but this is something which is not a phenomena that can be seen, in this amazing place. So he was very much astonished by that. They are trying to serve the Lord, for His pleasure. That is prepare our consciousness. We have to think, that I'm going to do a service of the Lord, and especially we have to. Which service is more difficult? We have to prepare consciousness. Huh? Chanting, and more difficult is prasadam. At least chanting, we don't try to master our chanting, but we try to master our prasadam. So we have to prepare a lot. No, this is I'm not meant to enjoy the prasadam. I'm meant to serve the prasadam, right? So it is quite difficult. Service. We have to prepare a lot. Our consciousness. So that's why there is this prayer Goloka Vrindavan system. They want to offer pleasure to Krishna. So that is their natural outlook. They are all giving up of admiration is okay. But then if my so band baj gaya, so then our devotion. We talk about when we talk about the residents of Goloka Vrindavan. Here it's mentioned that a particular this one in the towards the end. So, but she was made to forget the situation because the Lord wanted to make a before the affectionate Yashoda. This exchange of love between mother and the son was performed in a natural way, and Kunti, remembering this scene, was bewildered, and she could do nothing but praise the transcendental filial love. Indirectly, Mother Yashoda is praised for her unique position of love, for she could control even the awful beloved child. Right? This is a position of greatness. and a position of greatness that cannot be just imitated. So like it should not be taken very cheaply and imitated. So it is not that great difficult this one to imitate. So but then no it is not many rishis munis are like doing their circus one time. So it is more difficult than that is to enter into Vaikuntha Lokas, and more difficult than that is to enter into Goloka Vrindavan and to have such a position. As there comes this giving up reverential attitude. So it is not to be like taken very cheaply or imitated. So it should be like worshipped, and it should be admired, and it should be appreciated. So that's the mood in which these things have to be taken. So the Lord, in his naturally playful activities, he used to spoil the soft butter Mother Yashoda had kept, and by breaking the pots and distributing the contents to his friends and playmates, and including the celebrated monkeys of Vrindavan. So it's quite big to understand, Lord, what he does. He just feeds the monkeys also, and then like. She saw this, and out of her pure love, she wanted to make a show of punishment for her transcendental child. So, during this pastime, like when this pastime is happening, so we can see there are multiple, many different aspects that are actually focused upon. So here it's mentioned as transcendental difficult. This one's propositions that were running in her mind. So one is that she has to like correct the child. The child has to come out nicely and come out as a nice gentleman and things like that. So the child is trained, that is there. So that's a like aspect of protection, that the like parents have. So the child has to be nice and things like that. So even in the Jada Bharat pastime that we were studying, so the father of Jada Bharat, he is seeing that he is dull-headed person, but still he is trying to train him. At the same time, if I punish, the child will become afraid of me. So the natural affection that we exchange, that will get disturbed. So and then many multiple propositions are actually running in her mind. So and then she is trying, but still they will show us like something both bada ho gaya, and they will make such a this one. So like. Even if we raise the hand, the child will say like, no, maar diya mujhe. So ek ka 10 ho jayega. No? So like that it is. Lord, it is not that he like, it's not a time pass, that he's acting like a child. It is a pastime. He's really like, acting like a child. He's all the features, everything is nicely, perfectly done. She took a rope and threatened the Lord that she would tie him up, as is generally done in ordinary household. Seeing the rope in the hands of Mother Yashoda, the Lord bowed down his head and began to weep just like a child, and tears rolled down his cheeks, washing off his blood. It's generally done in ordinary household. So what is the significance of this? So the Lord's pastimes, it is not something that it is not something that the externally speaking, it is not something extraordinary. So but the thing is, the like ordinary dealings of this world, this also gives one important hint that devotional service is not some big circus that we need to do. Devotional service is the same activities. Externally the activities are not going to change, but internally our attachment to Krishna has to change. So the real thing that needs to be worked on is not the external circus. It is the internal attachment to the Lord. So that's the differential aspect. So it is the activities that were happening there. It's something like it would happen in ordinary household. What Mother Yashoda was doing with Krishna. So that is something that anywhere it would happen. So but then here there is an intense attachment. Like if the sadhakas, they are like as sadhakas, we have to be very clear goal, what needs to be focused upon. So the main focus that needs to be there is that how to develop this attachment to Krishna. So that's the differential thing that is there, and for that we need to spend time with Krishna. So and we cannot artificially imitate the activity towards Krishna. So we need to spend time with Krishna, and we will develop affection for Krishna. And spending time through studying the like scriptures as it is, like and also hearing the holy name as it is. So this, by doing this, we will be able to develop attachment to Krishna. And This picture of Lord is adored by Kunti Devi because she is conscious of the Lord's supreme position. He is feared often by fear personified, yet he is afraid of his mother, who wanted to punish him just in an ordinary manner. Kunti was conscious of the exalted position of Krishna, whereas Yashoda was not. Therefore, Yashoda's position was more exalted than Kunti's. So rest of the portion like we have already covered. So with this, I pause the discussion. Any questions or comments you can take?
Kunti Maharani is like basically praying to the Lord and then also describing about the supremacy of the Lord. So when I just had this question, so in Goloka Vrindavan, as you mentioned, everybody is actually covered by Yoga Maya and then they are not conscious of the supremacy of the Lord. So is Kunti Maharani a resident of Vrindavan?
No, she's in this one, no? She is in, yeah, no, Hastinapur, yeah, like that. So their mood is of reverence that is there.
So Hastinapur, that is spiritual world.
Yeah, that there also like they would have not in the Goloka Vrindavan, so in the other portions. Not in Vaikuntha planets, in relation to Krishna only. So that is, see, like Vaikuntha planets, there is a lot of reverences there. So, but then in the position of Mathura and Dwaraka, so these kind of realms, so there is a great deal of affection for the Lord, is there, which is not found in Vaikuntha. So, but also they have the reverence, like it is not also a reverence which is there in the Vaikuntha. No, in Vaikuntha, like nobody can think of what is it? No, huh? Think of even exchanging such intimate this ones also. Like there is a level of intimacy already there. So, but not to the extent of Goloka Vrindavan, no, in the Vrindavan. So, but there is a different level of intimacy that is there. So, it is also not that much reverential as it is in the Vaikuntha planets.
Okay, there's a level of intimacy, but there is the mode of supremacy.
Yeah, that is also
conscious, being conscious, and that will be not in the Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha will be there will be Vishnu tattvas, right, in the Vaikuntha.
All are Vishnu tattvas only. All are Vishnu tattva. Vishnu tattva is a category, and all are Vishnu tattvas.
But in Vaikuntha, it's like Krishna. Yeah.
That's also Vishnu tattva. In tattva wise, it is Vishnu tattva. Narayana Rupa, like, or the expansion of the expansions of the Lord. So they are there. So, and there this one, there the devotees, their natural attitude is of, the key thing is reverential, attitude. And devotional service is always there. That is a basic entity that needs to be there. So there is also like some level of affection, but not to this level. Level of affection is, the intimacy is less. And then this one is, reverential attitude is more like that.
One more question related. So, let's say a devotee is in like a particular sampradaya, and so is it short? And he has this like more of this being conscious about the supremacy of the Lord, and more attracted to that aspect as of now in the sadhaka state. So, is it sure that yes, in this sampradaya, whatever the Guru Parampara has, he will surely attain that.
Yeah.
So that is sure.
That's been blessed upon him.
Okay, that will be blessed upon him. So it's sure. There is no.
So we are also like aspiring for such an exalted position, entering into Goloka Vrindavan on the strength of the Panchatattva, on the strength of our previous acharyas. So they can bless upon us, anything. They have, and they can bless. Right? So when they bless, we will get it.
Thank you for nicely giving the philosophical background behind this Damodar Leela. One point you mentioned, Prabhuji, that Mayavadis, they consider that the Lord is predictable and the Prakriti non-predictable. But you're mentioning that they say that Lord is not of a particular color, not of a particular category we can put. So if they are telling that we can't put him in a category, so how is a predictable person?
No, because everything about the Brahman can be explained. No, and it becomes difficult for them to explain about the material nature. So the material phenomena and things like that and all. So there is no like if there is any qualities that comes in, or if there is any thing that has little dynamic nature, so immediately they categorize it as material. No, so they don't have any this one. So that actually there is no qualities only like to to describe about. It is just a white light. No, it's cannot be white also. White is also a quality. It is something, something that is fixed. Chalam dhruvam. So, and in that way, like they try to one of their propositions is that so that Brahman cannot be described by words. No, so, so even if we try to argue upon, and if they come to some point of philosophical defeat, they will say this is Shabda. Shabda can never describe the Brahman. So like that, so it becomes difficult for them. So for them, it is they tell that anirvachaniya, no? So like this material, this one is that cannot be described or that cannot be comprehended, no? Material nature. So, but as the spiritualists, like no, as Vaishnavas, we think that this is the only thing that we are able to touch, feel, and perceive. And isko bhi inconceivable kar diya. This is the only thing I am able to conceive. Sometimes it acts inconceivably because of the actions of the Paramatma. So matter in itself is predictable. So, but then the Paramatma, the Supreme Lord, he is unpredictable. So, or he is dynamic. He's beyond our control and no prediction. So the dynamism comes from there. So they find it very difficult to accommodate. So there is no Paramatma, there is no person like who's thinking, contemplating, and managing the universe. For them. So it becomes very difficult for them to comprehend that. That how is the Brahman will not get down to these material activities. Then who is running these material activities? So it becomes very difficult, and they just everything is illusion. Just it is an illusion, and it is completely uncomprehendable like that.
You mentioned Bhagwan, we were knowing that they consider that Bhagwan to material. Paramatma also.
No, anything that has this one or any kind of activities, and Paramatma is engaged in managerial affairs of the universe. So he is the is Brahma and Sarva Bhutani. He's doing the placement of various living entities, and then he's giving knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. If somebody wants to do some material sense gratification, he's giving them ideas and things like that. So how can a Mayavadi comprehend all these things as spiritual? It's quite difficult for them. So for them, it is like it is completely spiritual, and this one is like any activity, any dynamism, it is matter. That's their understanding. So it is the Brahman is like completely fixed, and completely tranquil. So there is no there in the Brahman. So that's why when Krishna comes and performs his activities, like that itself, they are considering to be material. So it is quite difficult for them. Any other points? Yes. Why does Mayavad exist? Because that's the natural thought process of a conditioned living entity. So natural thought process of conditioned living entity. It's like it also sees that it actually gives so many different conclusions. One is it allows or it not a control freak. He actually allows a philosophy of this nature to exist where it actually challenges his own very existence. So the Lord is not a control freak. The Lord is he's acceptable. Even if somebody actually puts him down. So that's this one. And then also Mayavad is this one of like why only the Lord is the master? No, why not others? No. So like trying to one of the basic this ones which Lord Shiva says to Parvati, the basic funda of Mayavad philosophy is Jivayor Paramayor Aikyam. No, so like oneness between the living entity and the Supreme Lord. So that is all that's the natural disease that the living entity has. That why I cannot become the Lord. No, so why I can't become the Supreme Power. So then he sees that the Lord is like quite difficult to match. No, so then let us bring down this one ki like no kisi ko nahi hoga. So like the ultimate absolute truth is not that powerful and stuff like that. It's just Brahman. No, and that's quite comprehensible. No, that's quite achievable. So but then if I have to lift core, then it's quite difficult to achieve. So kuch na kuch karke like no, I am and myself and the Lord is equal. No, so same position mein leke jana chahiye. So it's endeavor of the living entity to become one with the Lord. So that is why it is called as the last snare of the material illusion. So like illusion, doing sense gratification is material illusion. But then in the garb of like a spiritual practitioner or a garb of a spiritualist, a person comes to the understanding of I become one with the Lord, and then he studies scriptures and he recites scriptures and things like that. It's quite a deep level of illusion actually. So whereas a person who doesn't know scriptures and he's fully engrossed in sense gratification, he is considered to be better than a person who is seemingly there in the spiritual culture, but then thinking that I can become one with the Lord. So he is more deeply engrossed in the Lord or deeply caught up in the material illusion. Like that. So philosophy, everything that is there, we can actually bring it to this point that eko bahunam yo vidadati kamam. So kamna hai, the philosophy hai. So living India has the desire to become one with the Lord. The Lord says, no, I'll give you a philosophy. No, don't worry. So So, what is their hope? I had one devotee was telling. I don't know if it has some shastric backing. So, like these Mayavadis, they become stones, in their next life, and then they become living stones. And living stones are the stones which are chosen for carving the Vishnu Murti. No, so and they actually they wanted to be worshipped, and they will be worshipped. But then they will have the association of pure devotees. No, so I don't know. This is maybe the speculation of that devotee, and they may become a devotee later on. So in that way, it may go on. And see, the way of material nature is that when some offensive attitude is taken towards the Lord, or some indulgence into the material nature is taken, so then the natural consequences, so the illusion actually makes him dull. And when he is made to become dull, so again he goes back into the lower species of life, and then he goes to this one, like right from Jalajana to Stavara, Lakshavamshati, like those species he goes to. And then from there, like if he gets an opportunity, when he is a tree, some devotee picks up some flowers and offers to the Lord, so then there is good chance that he becomes a devotee. He gets Sukruti in that way. So like by the association of devotees. Then he is in a conscious state, he offends the devotees, so then he is made into unconscious state. So when in unconscious state, so he gets, maybe that's a very good situation for him to get mercy. Envious attitude towards the Lord. There is some kind of an envy that's been a critical envy that has been harnessed, like cultivated. So that is coming in the form of Mayavad, and also offenses. That also can create that kind of attitude. Yes.
This last snare of Maya, you were mentioning that it is a desire to be, that is the last snare of Maya. So illusion. So is it only applying to Mayavadi, or if there is a impersonalist who is to know the absolute truth, or trying to realize the Brahman realization. So he must be in knowledge, right? Because that's an aspect of.
Yeah, but his consciousness is connected by the envy towards the Lord. So here, Mayavad is not just the philosophy, of trying to become one with the Brahman and things like that. So accompanied with that, there is a great deal of envy that is there. So like that is the difficult aspect. So philosophically, they are the same. No, they are almost the same. Like so, impersonalist and the Mayavadi. So, but an impersonalist may not become a Mayavadi. So because no lack of envy towards the supreme absolute truth. So that is the this one. So like so this is a demoniac tendency, but it takes the garb of a spiritualist. You know. So it may externally appear to be like almost the same, but there is a gulf difference that is there.
So impersonalist would be considered in knowledge.
Yeah. Impersonalist in knowledge because he understands that, like, I am a Chitkana, I am a spirit spark, and then there is a vast spiritual existence that is there, and I'm trying to explore. So I'm trying to explore my position, explore what is absolute truth and things like that. So, but Mayavadis are not like that. So Mayavadis are like they're envious of the Supreme Lord, they're envious of the Supreme Absolute Truth. So, because of that envy, they cannot, they become stones. So, like the difference you see, the impersonalists attain the Brahma Jyoti and Mayavadi become a stone. So like it's a vast difference that is there. So, like, somebody raised hand. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. So you mentioning that even to go into this Vaikuntha planet also, the devotee should have the loving service attitude. So just like the ninth stage, that is the love is
Which
to,
ninth stage? Prema is not to be, prema is that love that is described. Prema is not the love of Madhurya Rasa or something like that. So the stage of prema means it is love of Godhead. So this love of Godhead means that is a state, where your love in the form of a servant can come, the love in the form of a friend can come, love in the form of a parent can come. No, love in any of these forms can come. So it doesn't generally mean only we should not confuse it with the Madhurya Rasa and the love of Godhead. The love of Godhead is the perfectional stage where any one of these different rasas will start manifesting.
and you said also that actually we are blessed the mood of the Brahman. But again, we also heard about the Swarupa we have. So we can attain that Swarupa only. How it is said that we are blessed with the mood of the, because we can't attain, because in our Swarupa we have a different kind of mood. So how the things are getting arranged?
Yeah, so it's a little not very clear subject even for me. So, but then whatever it is, whether they are going to give their mood or they are going to revive our mood. So, so it is going to be upon by the blessings, of this one. So it is. कर लेंगे अभी मेजर प्रॉब्लम है कि लाइक सर्विस करने का इच्छा नहीं है that's a major problem. So like our basic affection towards the Lord, the basic love of Godhead has to be awakened. So in the stage of bhava and in the stage of prema, so our position will be very, very clear. Those things will be made clear to us. So it doesn't need to be like we don't need to do a sadhana particular to that till that stage. So before that we can just work on our basics. That is sufficient. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
You were discussing yesterday that the impersonalist and the demigod worshippers, so they go to the darkest region of existence. When Prabhupada says impersonalist, so is that
The Mayavadis. No, he's pointing to Mayavadis, not the other impersonalists. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
One question. Thank you very much for the nice class. So we are focusing on the attachment, how devotee must increase the attachment to the Lord.
So in this regard, So I don't have any attachment to the Lord. So I see means I observe few devotees. Maybe they have less with the Lord. And you mentioned that artificially attachment should be showed up. So few people devotees who have that affection in whichever aspect, in the 9 aspects of Anga or devotion service. So whichever is there, either deity worship, chanting or whatever it is. So sometimes difficult to understand. So some aspects they'll be having nice attachment and some do not, maybe behavior may not be good. So whatever it is. So how to understand it's artificial or blessed by the Lord.
Yeah, so this initial attachments may arise in some features, in some forms, and maybe their primary focus of cultivation is particular anga of bhakti, and they are trying to work hard, in that particular in that process. So simultaneously, like their taste in other processes also may awaken and focus upon one process. So that is there, and also the aspect of the taste that may arise, the basic taste that may arise, that may arise right from the stage of anattanavriti. So, but then the good qualities to manifest, that will take long time. So these both are little not very connected actually. So good qualities, the divine qualities to arise in the person of this one, it takes almost to the level of attachment or bhava or some stages like that. So that is when the divine qualities will start manifesting. So but the some kind of a taste in the process may start arising in the stage of anartha-nivritti. So from there itself, gradually as the anarthas are decreasing, so the devotee may develop some taste. So but the stage of ruchi that is mentioned is not it's a very substantial form of taste that is there. So but then the basic taste in the process of devotional service will start even much before, much before it will start. So they may develop some taste. So but then the taste has to become continuous and constant. So that's that takes little higher stages of bhakti. So but even in the lower stages of bhakti, some occasional taste may actually appear. So it is not going to be in the stage of ruchi suddenly one day devotee getting a lot of taste. No, it is not like that. It is everything is going to happen gradually and organically. No, nothing is going to happen some we do that drama and all. No, like smoke is put and some sound is put and then drink. It has just come. Nothing is going to come in that way in our spiritual life. So everything is going to develop organically. So organically, the taste also may start appearing. In this one. So the taste may be there. So but then qualities, that will take time. To come up. So that is why a devotee is expected to develop at least certain certain qualities like humility and tolerance and gratitude and things like that. So these are also, when it is cultivated, it is material qualities only. So only in the later stages, like in the stage of attraction and bhava and things like that. So the real humility, the divine quality of humility will be bestowed on the living entity. So not in the beginning stages. Beginning stages, some basic qualities have to be cultivated. So some other qualities should not be. If we cultivate that, we are called sahajya. So some basic qualities have to be cultivated, which are essential to progress in devotional service. And other qualities, when it comes, it comes in the later stages actually.
Thank you, Guruji. So continue this question. So basic qualities, humility, gratitude, and cultivate. And also in many classes which I observed from your, so that we have to now see faults in ourselves, condemn ourselves, and find faults in others. So and also we discussed the aspect that we should expect from anything much from other devotees, because we have to understand that the fact at least that everyone has some deficiency, some of the other deficiencies. So where is that boundary to understand I'm not doing fault finding and also accepting the fact that everyone has some deficiency?
So this is very essential, especially management. What happens is in corporate world, this one is there, a person is promoted and promoted and promoted to that position where he becomes completely ineffective. So his capacity is something, and the person also seeks promotion, he also wants to be promoted, And then the organization also sees that if people have to sustain, they have to be promoted. So, and they are promoted to higher and higher positions, and at certain position he becomes ineffective, because it is beyond his capacity. जितना capacity था उससे ज़्यादा चला गया actually. So in a way, like at least in Krishna conscious management, like at least here we study about three modes of nature. Here we study about different capacities and qualities of different living entities and things like that. So at least here, in Krishna conscious management, we should understand that everybody has a particular kind of capacity, and then by like trial and error we understand कि like इसका capacity इतना ही है, and we should reduce our expectation to that level. इससे इतना होगा, इससे ज़्यादा expect नहीं करना चाहिए. And somebody who is able to perform well, somebody who is able to his capacity is more, then we can have expectation according to that capacity of that person, right? So, and beyond that, if we have expectation, that will turn into fault finding. Like he's supposed to do, like why is he not doing? So capacity khatam ho gaya, and then misunderstanding starts. So like this person is not doing a service according to what is expected and things like that. So like that, so misunderstanding starts. So this is the threshold. We need to understand threshold, and sometimes within the threshold also, if the devotee's mood is not good, uska capacity kam ho jata hai. And then that time is the time where all misunderstandings happen, and all the fights and all other things actually happens. So that's devotee when he is doing his Shravanam Kirtanam nicely. He is to his best, and he can actually deliver the best. So, but when his sadhana goes down, so his capacity also goes down. And he'll be able to like perform to some basic level, what he's capable of materially. So, but then when his sadhana is going good, so sometimes he'll be able to do much beyond his material capacity. So that is there. It's like we should see that we should always have a little lesser expectation than what a person can perform. So then at least we will be at peace. We can chant our rounds nicely. Like that. So like fault finding is even if a person is actually committing a mistake, still like we should limit it to the management. And when we are in the management, when we are wearing the hat of the management, so we should handle it. And when we remove that, and we like rest of the time, we should be a sadhaka. So we should see that just before going to the bed, so we should completely remove all management, this one, and till the time. At least we should try our best not till the time the morning program finishes. We should not wear the hat of management. So we are safe. So there is a big project that is there. So the project is like I have not developed attachment to the Lord, and I need to spend with the Lord, to develop attachment to Him. So, and if I all the time, if I'm there in the mood of management, and then contemplating who has did what and who has not did what and things like that, so then I'll not be able to advance, in my Krishna consciousness. So, like there needs to be a sufficient time, for oneself, so that needs to be kept. So otherwise, like we will get distracted, and all the time thinking about some material transaction or some transaction of dissatisfaction and things like that. So then the sadhana that we are doing is a material sadhana. We are contemplating on anger, we are contemplating on the fault of another person, which is produced by three modes of nature. We will be within the three modes of nature for sure. We will not go outside of the three modes of nature. Like that. Yes.
In addition to that question which I asked regarding attraction to one limb of any like all the devotional limbs of devotional service, and as we see in the Bhagavatam also, like 9 devotees attraction to one of the limbs, and they were able to achieve success. So is it possible even now, like a person has just attraction to one limb very much and he's doing that activity only, not getting too much interest in other limbs of the devotional service, and he's able to perfect his life, or he's able to advance?
See, when he's perfecting, he will also be, what is that? He would have also done other things, and it is not that he doesn't have any attraction towards it. So when a devotee actually perfects a particular limb of the devotional service, he is very much oriented in that particular aspect, and he likes to do it. So it doesn't mean that he doesn't like to do other aspects. Like in the advanced stages, he will develop attachment to all of the limbs of bhakti. Like that will be there. No, it is not that he has attraction only to one limb of bhakti. So any way, like that what is it? At least he will be able to appreciate if somebody else does that. So if he doesn't have any attraction at all, so like he will not endeavor to do it, and then if any else does also, he will not have any appreciation towards it. So but then here the aspect is like he is actually getting attached to the Supreme Lord, and all the limbs of bhakti is actually displaying, or it's actually a way of accessing the Supreme Lord. And in any way he is able to access the Supreme Lord, he'll become attached to it. No, he'll actually derive nourishment and pleasure from that particular limb. So he may have a particular orientation towards one particular limb of devotional service. That's perfectly okay. But at the same time, he may not have aversion, towards other limbs. No, rather, like if there is an opportunity to perform, he'll perform as well.
That initial attraction will help him progress in devotion.
Yeah. So he may be like in the sadhaka state, he may be like made his project towards one particular limb. But then when his access to Krishna starts, he starts accessing Krishna through that particular limb. So then he will start accessing Krishna in other aspects also. Like he will start, if his chanting goes well. So when he sees even a material object, be able to see its connection with Krishna, like, and then his nourishment can come even by seeing a tree in the street, even by seeing anything, any material, that is there. So because remembrance of Krishna is triggered, by, because he becomes conscious of everything being part and parcel of Krishna. So then even a material object can trigger, remembrance of Krishna and can nourish him. So what to speak about the limb of devotional service? It can definitely nourish him actually. Anything else? Okay, so it's time, it's 9 o'clock, so we will close our discussion here. Ki jai.